Pase.
What's up, world? Welcome to another edition of the Team Pase podcast. My name is Glad.
And I'm your boy, Rob. We are your favorite podcast show where we interview great entrepreneurs from all sectors of industry. Remember to comment, share, and subscribe. Comment, share, subscribe below.
For sure. Now, today, guys, we've got another real estate guru who's got over 20 years experience. And he's gonna deliver us some gems, and he's gonna be in your face. He's gonna be in your face today. Let me tell you that for sure. His name is Welby Accely. Welby, what's up?
What's going on, man?
How you been? Don't act shy now, man. You was giving some gems earlier in the green room, so we gonna talk about it for sure, man.
Absolutely.
How was your day today? Let's start off with that, man. How was your day today? Because I know you're always on the phone,
stressful, man. Just stressful, man. I've been working on another multi-unit for a couple of months, and it's been up and down, and I might not be getting it now. I don't know. We'll see during the week what'll happen. But other than that, I mean, pretty good. So far, so good.
That's what's up, man.
Okay, so now you, I don't even know where to start, bro. I've been following you for about over a year now in real estate, and you're in the Connecticut area.
Yeah.
And like, how is that going? Like, Connecticut, how's it looking? What's up with that area?
Well, I tell people that Connecticut's the sleeping giant of the real estate game. So it could stay like that. That's fine with me. But it's the sleeping giant of the real estate game. And I mean, listen, it's not really about Connecticut anyways. It just happens to be that's the state that I'm investing in. But you can make money everywhere in this country, man. So it's really not just Connecticut itself. It's everywhere is an opportunity to make money in America.
That's what's up. Tell the people your story. How did you get started in real estate? Well,
the first seed that was planted in my mind about real estate, which I didn't realize until later on in life, until maybe my late teens, early 20s, is the first seed that was planted in my mind about real estate was maybe about the age of 7 years old. About 7 years old. Wow. When it's me and four brothers, so it's a total of 5 boys that my parents had, and we was living in the projects in Brooklyn. And my godfather, he's from Long Island, and he was in the suburbs of Long Island, and he would come and visit us in Brooklyn, and he was always coming with a beautiful, nice car, nicely dressed and stuff like that. And we would go out to go visit him at times. And just being around him and stuff like that, he was always good to me. And just later on in life is when I found out that he was living what was appearing to be successful, at least from being in the projects, that he was doing that through real estate. So that's where I was initially influenced about real estate.
Okay, so now your godfather. So what part of Brooklyn?
Well, we was in multiple areas, but Canarsie Projects in Brooklyn.
Oh, Canarsie Projects. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. So your godfather was more like he was pretty much like a mentor to you.
No, he wasn't a mentor. I never had a mentor. Till this day, I've never had a mentor in this. I've been my own mentor in this. But he influenced me. He definitely influenced me. Well, I say it humbly, he didn't do it to the scale of what I'm doing, but he was independent. He owned his own brokerage. He owned 2 or 3 properties itself, and he did a lot of other bunch of businesses, a business within real estate. So he was definitely an inspiration for me. Definitely was an inspiration for me. Definitely.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Cool.
At what age did you start taking the real estate game seriously?
I bought my first piece of properties around the age of 25 or so, sometime around the age of 25 when I bought my first property. So I live in New York. I'm still from New York, but I bought my first property in Atlanta. Wow. So I bought my first property, and my first piece of property was a 4-unit property in Atlanta. And honestly, when I bought it just to buy it, just because I didn't know what I was doing. I did it because everybody was doing it, and I didn't follow the process. I didn't know why I bought it. I didn't know what was the ultimate end goal going to be. I was depending on a lot of other people to supposedly hook me up or educate me or be a mentor to me. I thought that because I went and watched YouTube when YouTube started getting popularized and I read a handful of books, that
Mhm.
was sufficient enough for me to get into the real estate game. Not realizing that how I got into the game was I was setting myself up for failure. So I later on found that out as the process went along.
Wow. Now you say in one of your IG posts that you need money to get into this game. Don't let nobody fool you. You need money. So how, at the age of 25, were you able to get the money to get your first property?
Well, I've always been a hustler. I've always been about getting my money one way or another. Not necessarily illegally, you know, Haitian parents ain't playing that shit, right? Not saying that, but I was always grinding. I was always hustling. So I was employed as well. So I was gainfully employed, and I was always good at saving my money. I was always good at stacking my money and just saving my money and being responsible in that way. So my Haitian parents would always tell us that, listen, if you're gonna be living here, take advantage of living here. And my parents, you know, they would bug you for a little bit of money, $50 a month in rent, stupid things like that. Not realizing that my parents was actually my parents have been really good to me and my brothers, but you don't realize how good they are to you and they were to you until later on. So by that point, I had already maybe saved up about maybe $60,000, $70,000 at that point.
Wow.
But also, just to make clear, when I bought my first piece of property was sometime in 2004, when the subprime mortgage was running rampant.
Yeah.
So as long as you had a pulse, they were giving properties away to you. They were giving mortgages away to you. So going back to your question about me saying that you need to have money.
Yeah.
Money doesn't necessarily have to mean literally money. It could also mean credit and other aspects and other ideas like that. So given the fact in the subprime mortgage, they were giving mortgages away. They were doing what they called 106% financing at that time. So they were giving you the purchase of 100% of the property, and then 6% of the extra was for the closing costs. So that's why it was 106% financing at that time.
Wow.
So because I was employed, because I had money, I didn't have to come to the table with anything. So I got how I found when I say you need to have money, I got the money somewhere. So where did I get the money? I got the money from the other bank, because they had to do it was also an 80-20 loan. 80% was for the acquisition, the other 20% was for the closing costs and the balance that need to be paid. So you have to get money somewhere. So it's either you have the money, either the money fell from the sky, either you hustling, either you played somebody. You have to have money to get into this business, to get into this real estate game. So that's how I did it.
Okay. Wow.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. So some people say, okay, I want to save 20K. I want to save 30K. Now that this whole FHA, 3.5% down and everything, you don't need that much money. Back then, you needed like 50K at least to put down on a crib.
That's incorrect.
Yeah. So now that a lot of people were misled, like what's the least amount you would say that someone would need to kind of like, you know what, I want to get in this game, but I don't have much? Because there are times when people say, you know what, I got a friend who has 20K, but I got good credit. How would you?
But your question is kind of, I mean, with the utmost respect, your question, you're asking the wrong question. Because people will ask me all the time and say, how much money do I need to get into the real estate game?
Right.
And my question to them is, where are you looking to invest in? What research did you do? So when people come to me and they come and they talk to me, the problem that they're having is that they're looking at me like I'm some messiah, or I'm the guy that's going to come and take you to the promised land. I'm not here to take you to the promised land. My goal is to give you the game. And then you apply the game so that you know how to fish yourself instead of me feeding you. So when you asking that question, most of the time when people asking that question is because they didn't take the time out to do their homework. So my number one question would be that following you is where you're going to invest in. So then based off of where you're looking to invest in, it's going to tell you all the answers to the question. So what you can do with hypothetically $50,000 in one market doesn't mean you could do the same in another market. So where you looking to invest in is the first question that you need to be asking yourself. So whatever the answer comes up with, it's not that you're right or wrong. All you're doing is giving truth to yourself so that you understand you're keeping it real with yourself.
Right.
So if I only have $50,000, what I can do with $50,000 in Atlanta, I can't do the exact same thing in New York. So does that mean you invest in Atlanta, or do you invest in New York, or do you invest in Cleveland, or do you invest in Texas? Once you identify that, then it gives you the answer to your question. Maybe you might not like the answer, but at least you know what your answer is. Then you move on to the next step.
Can you give us a quick example? Let's say you've got the 50K. What can you do in Atlanta? Right, let's just use an example of right now. What can you do in Atlanta with 50K in Atlanta as opposed to doing something out here in New York, real estate wise?
Well, I can only talk about what I know. I did a business in Atlanta years ago, so I don't know. I don't know the market. If you put me in any market and give me the time I need, I'm gonna make money there. I can only talk about my market. So if we want to talk about Connecticut in Connecticut, especially at the time when I started buying, a 3-family in New York would average about, you guys, what would have been average 3-family would sell in New York?
In New York?
Yeah.
A 3-family?
Yeah. 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
2 or 3 years ago? At least
455?
455.
55. Yeah, 500 final price.
3-4 years ago, yeah. Obviously, it's a lot more now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That same 3-4 family in Connecticut, I was buying for 100,000, 150,000. So that's why I say that you asking the wrong questions. So when you're saying, what can I do with 50,000? I don't know what market you're looking to invest in. So when you identify the market that you're looking to invest in, it might not be the market you could come and play in. So you could have all the dreams you want to, saying that you want to invest in a certain market, but if you really are not in the financial position to invest in it, at least you understand and you know that you're not. Then you decide, let me pivot from this market that I'm in and go somewhere else. Or let me get my grind up so I can get my money up so I can invest in the market that I want to invest in. So you have to have these real conversations with yourself. I never was told that. So I was just following what everybody else was doing. So everybody was doing certain things in the market that they're in. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to do the same shit too. And I had no business being in that market. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But the people that were supposed to be part of the team that's supposed to be looking out for you, i.e. the realtors, the mortgage companies, the attorneys, I'm the only one that's in this game telling you that these people don't give a fuck about you. You need to figure out a way to cover yourself and to protect yourself. And the way that you start protecting yourself in this business is to educate yourself. Most of us ain't going to take the opportunity to educate themselves. They just want to dive in. That's why I tell people that too many of us are penny smart, dollar stupid. So too many of us will spend $200,000 to buy a piece of property that you don't know what the hell you're doing, but you won't spend $200 to educate yourself before you buy that property.
So why do you think is that? Because on my end, everyone it was all about real estate investing. Real estate investing, invest. You don't need a license, just go in. But I had to apply that. I had to apply myself. I had to reach out. I did YouTube University in the beginning, and now reaching out to education platform. So I educated myself about real estate. But then I noticed that a lot of people want that instant gratification. They want it right away. They may not have the time for the education. They have the money.
No, they have the time for the education.
If they want.
They don't want to take that time. They have enough time to go party and to turn up and to appear like they're doing something versus to actually invest the energy and the time to do it. In this game, it's easy to get a property. It's easy to get a mortgage. The easiest part of the game is to spend money. That's the easiest part of the game. So that's why I always tell people, if that's the easiest part of the game and it's that difficult, so how much more harder you think everything else is? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I can't stress enough educating yourself. And especially with the new generation today, you guys are ahead of us than what we had to deal with coming up because we didn't have access to the information that's out here. And now you have an abundance of information out here and you still refuse to educate yourself.
So as a young 25-year-old, you buy your first crib in Atlanta. How were you able to educate yourself with that process, with that getting that property and then going on and getting on?
No, I got robbed. That's how I educated myself. I got robbed.
Talk to us about that experience.
I got robbed. You got robbed. Everybody part of the process took advantage of me. Everybody. The mortgage person, just because you can get qualified for a mortgage don't mean you have any business buying that property.
How much did you put down on that house?
I put nothing down at the time.
Okay.
But that's irrelevant at that time, because it could be like anything else. Whatever you have to put down or not put down or whatever it is, just because you're supposedly on paper in a position to be able to acquire something does not mean that you should be buying it. That's why that's happening today. That's why you got so many people buying properties today and they high-fiving themselves on Instagram and posting up, and I'm looking like you damn fool. You don't even realize what the hell you got yourself involved in. But I was me. I was that person being put in that predicament too. So to answer your question about that, I didn't know what I was doing. I was ambitious. I had dreams and aspirations, but I did not understand the depths of what it was going to take to do it. And then the parties that were all involved, from the mortgage broker to the attorney to the realtor to the contractor, every single person that was involved with that situation looked at me like a paycheck, as an opportunity. So when I did it, everybody got paid. Everybody got paid. So when I buy the property initially when I bought it was to buy it, to utilize it as cash flow.
Okay.
I didn't understand what cash flow was, but I did read books like you guys said.
Okay.
You can read all you want, but if it doesn't click to you, what does it matter?
Right.
But it feels good when you're talking amongst your peoples, talking shit amongst you people, and using these big acronyms and stuff like that, talking like you know what you're talking about until you got to get into the game. It's a totally different situation.
So let's talk about this first property you bought. You bought it and you had no kind of education.
I know. That's what go back again. What I said. I thought I was educated.
Right.
I thought that I knew.
So you thought you was ready to get in. So you saved up. You saved up $70K, like you said. All right, cool. I'm ready to get in this game. And you thought that you was educated. You put down zero. You put nothing down.
Correct. And
you got this property. So now you're like on top of the world. I got my first property. I'm good to go.
That's right.
And now you're sitting at the table. You're about to sign contracts. Everybody's around you, and you have to, sign like 30 pages, and you're by yourself at the
100%.
at the day of closing, right? So what's going through your mind at 20? You said you was 25,
26 years
25,
old.
26 years old. So what's going through your mind? Like you said, you're an investor now. I
thought I was a man now. So when I came back home, from purchasing the property, I was proud of myself. Listen, that's the biggest purchase that most people will ever make in their life is their property.
Absolutely.
So I bought my first piece of property and I felt like I was a man. I came back home with my chest up. I bought me a 4-family, man. You know what I'm saying? And not only I bought a 4-family, now I'm going to be a landlord. I'm going to put tenants in and I'm going to make all this money. Okay, so that's what happened.
So you put the tenants. So you got tenants. How'd you get the tenants? And you didn't get any tenants.
Skipping all of that. the property needed work. So remember, I saved up money.
Okay.
I didn't understand contractors. I didn't understand how to manage a contractor. So I take your word for it. You tell me it's going to cost me X amount of money to rehab the property, no problem. So I pay you to do that. And then as the process is going through the process of rehabbing the property, what's going on, and all of a sudden the story continues changing. So then come look at the property of what you're supposedly doing, and the shit probably looked worse than what I paid you to do in the first place.
Where'd you get this contractor from?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
The realtor, matter of fact, introduced me to the person.
Okay.
So I did the best that I could. I got robbed. Wow. I found me another person to do what they could do to fix up the place for me. I also did it with not caring. So most people that get into this game as far as wanting to be a realtor, the first priority that you're putting in your mind is how much money I could make. Not even the quality of what you're going to present to the public, to the marketplace, how much money I could make. The realtor presented to me, you should be able to get $800 to $1,000 per apartment. I had 4 apartments. So if I could get hypothetically $1,000, that'd be $4,000 a month.
Correct.
My mortgage was $2,000 a month. So I should be making
at least
$1,500 to $2,000 a month. Start going through the whole process. I didn't validate what she said to me. I didn't know I needed to validate what she said to me. Long story short, paid the contractor, was not satisfied with the work, had to do what I had to do, and I slapped it together like most people do today. Just slap whatever you can, put it to the walls. Fuck it, I'm not going to really want to live in here.
And you had no rehab, no kind of construction background, nothing?
No, none of that.
Wow.
My thing is I'm not a scumbag. I'm not a thief. I'm not here to rob nobody. if we're gonna do business, and I've been like that since then, and I'm the same way that like that today, but I have a whole different method of what I do. So my thing is, I'm gonna pay you for whatever work that you're doing, realtor, contractor, whomever you are. I'm not here to rob nobody. So when I did that, the person robbed me. After they robbed me, I slapped whatever I could together. Would I have lived there? No, I wouldn't have lived there, but fuck it, I'm not living here. That's what most people attitudes, the way they think.
Right.
People do that today. I don't think like that anymore, but that's how I thought. The same apartment building that my realtor told me I should get about $800 to $1,000, the best I can get out of those apartments was $500 a month.
Wow.
Times 4.
Wow.
Mortgage is $2,000. Don't forget, everybody keep talking about property managements, right? That's the whole game everybody talk about, right? So then I hired a property manager.
How much were you paying for them?
Property management on average gets 10%.
Correct.
10% of 2,000
of the mortgage.
Of the rent.
Of the rent, rather.
So 10% of 2,000 is what?
Yeah, this is 200.
200.
Yeah.
My mortgage is what?
So
I was already in the hole $200 a month before I even got started.
Wow.
Before I even got started. And that's as long as everything goes well. Half the time, none of my tenants were paying. What do I have to deal with to go through? So now I have tenants not paying, and I'm managing and paying on a property, coming up through the difference of it every month. And I did that for 2 years.
And you're not even living in Atlanta.
And I'm not living there. I never moved to Atlanta.
Wow.
So now, here's what happens. You ever see those people that just bought themselves a new car? You notice how everybody drives BMWs today? Mercedes today. Remember when we were coming up, if you had a Mercedes or a BMW, even if it was 2 or 3 years old, you drug dealer or you doing okay for yourself.
Right.
Everybody drives a BMW today. Everybody drives a Mercedes today or an Infinity. And more than 80% of those, 70% of those people have no business driving that car. Because it looks good though, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens with the real estate game. So you watch and pay attention on Instagram. Watch how many balloons are popping. Congratulations to this person because they just bought. So when you just buy your new car, the first month or two, it feels good, don't it?
Absolutely.
Right? First time while you driving in, you pulling up to your friends with your homeboy or your homegirls, you look at my new car, it's beautiful, right? After the 3rd month, you have to keep hitting that payment. That car don't feel too good anymore, right? Same shit with these fucking houses. Feels wonderful when you bought that building, right? When you first bought it, and all your homeboys and your homegirls is congratulating you. Come on, girl, what's going on? Let's have a housewarming. And then when it dies down, now you have to maintain it. It don't feel too good no more. The property's supposed to work for you, not you work for it. That's what most of the people are doing today. You're working for that property, and then you're going to kill yourself to keep up with the Joneses, to keep up with that look. That's what I did too. So when I speak on that, I'm not speaking knocking anybody. I was the victim too. I went through it too. Not only I went through it 1 time, 2 times, 5 times, 10 times. I got wiped out of this industry game multiple times. Lost millions multiple times. So when I'm speaking and I talk the way I speak and I talk in the manner that I speak, I'm not talking from what I heard. I went through this shit. You can't tell me nothing.
So why are you sticking with it? Why are you sticking with it? Because
I made millions.
Because you made millions.
Don't play with me.
You learn.
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
I did.
That's what's up. Now, because here it goes. You get into the real estate and the culture. Don't do it because the landlord situation, you're going to lose money. You're going to lose money in your mind.
But here's the thing. You're hearing this and you're talking from people that aren't doing it.
Right.
And then also, you're hearing it from people that are doing it that are telling you don't do it because they want you to be their tenant. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
You got to think about that.
Right.
Yo, I don't talk about my family because I love my family, right? But it's one of my family members, and he kept getting upset because I kept buying properties. Who saw I shit through sky side? What the hell you doing with all these houses? Mad at me because I'm keep buying properties. But I can't get mad at him because he don't understand that.
That's the mindset.
He don't understand that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get mad at him. I just brush him off and I just keep doing what I'm doing.
Right.
But then why is it that when you see people that don't look like us doing it and you sitting with that same person telling me not to do it, you're envious of him or her doing it. But when I'm doing it, you telling me I'm tripping and I'm bugging not to do it.
That's fine.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, the reason why I didn't stop doing it, I don't know. Because the average person with what I went through they would have given up.
Quick question. obviously you learned for those 2 years, you're fighting that, trying to figure out, get through the process with the Atlanta crib. At what point do you make it?
I never made it where I lost it.
You lost it
to foreclosure.
Okay, so now fast forward, how do you say, okay, how do I get back into the game? What was your bounce up? How did you get?
I'm working and hustling, grinding, and then guess what? I got myself back up to go at it again, and I lost it all again.
Wow.
I got wiped out. My whole
in
resume,
Atlanta or in New York?
Atlanta and in New York.
Okay.
And in between that, I started investing in other things. I owned a nursing agency. Got robbed from that too. If you go and you Google a website, well, if you Google search Go Ocean Water Park Scam, GOOCEAN Water Park Scam, you read my whole bio on that. Wow. I had a federal case put against me and the people I was invested with, and to only find out that my partner embezzled $6 million from me and other partners, and we had a federal government investigating us, but it didn't go involving criminality on my part and my others because they knew we didn't do anything wrong. But we found out that my partner, her name is Liliana Traficante. You guys Google search it, you'll see it. If you Google search it and you read the whole bio, and you're gonna read victim number 4. Victim number 4 was me. That was victim number 4. And you'll see all I was doing was fighting for my life. I'm not talking about just with that case. I'm talking about with my life because I want to make something of myself. So I kept trying. I kept trying. Every time I kept trying, I kept punched in the face, kept getting robbed, making mistakes. Fuck it. I felt down. I was sad like everybody else too. I was disappointed in myself like everybody else do. I had doubts just like everybody else too. All of those things. And I just kept getting up and kept trying. Kept trying. So that's what people don't want to hear. People don't want to hear that shit. They only want to talk about me pulling up in whichever car that I'm driving.
And that's why we're happy that you're here talking about this, because that's what entrepreneurship is all about. The successes are dope too, but we want to talk about the pitfalls too.
The success is the reward. The materialistic things that you see is the reward for the work. So nobody want to talk about the work. They only want to know about the reward. When you see your homegirl just finished getting her license, or getting her attorney, becoming an attorney or becoming a doctor, everybody want to applaud. And everybody want to be a part of it. When that person was trying to get his PhD for those 15 years, where the hell were you at? But you want to be there with the celebration.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing like everything else with what's being put out to everybody. Everybody's living incredible.
On Instagram,
everybody
looks good. Everybody looks great.
Everybody doing good.
Do it for the gram.
Everybody doing good. You telling me that nobody has pitfalls? You telling me that nobody got scars? Everybody doing good? That's not what I get when you hit me on the DM. That's not what I'm getting. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. That's the things that people need to understand, that that's the reward for the hard work that you put in. You reward yourself with whatever it is. We all should have worldly possessions, man. Fuck that. That's why we in America, right? We all should have worldly possessions and trinkets and things like that, because we're gonna die eventually. So enjoy yourself while you can. You know what I'm saying? But most of us prefer to look the part than to really be the part. You know, so that's just what it is with that.
So now, for someone who wants to get into real estate and they're following you, or they're just now hearing about you, one of your IG posts, you were saying you need the money. Fine, you got the money, but there's different ways to get in, right? So what would be a first entry point for somebody to get into real estate?
I mean, there's so many different things, man. First, you got to figure out what you want. I can't tell you what you want. You need to know what you want. You need to know I know people hear it sounds cliche, but you need to know what your why is. What do you want to do? I met a guy that he wanted to get into real estate, and his goal was because he wanted to make enough money to pay for his daughter's college tuition, because he didn't want her going into student debt. So when he came to me and we talked business, he just wanted to flip a property. So he flipped the property and he made enough money to pay for his daughter's 4 years tuition. He was done.
That was it. One and done.
He was happy.
Wow.
Good for him, bro.
Okay.
I know other people that they want to be landlords and they want to build up a portfolio. I know other people that they're content with working their employment and wholesaling. Whatever you want to do, there's nothing wrong with whatever you choose that you want to do. You have to have that real like conversation with yourself and be real with yourself. Now, whatever it is that you come up with, now there's certain processes you got to go through to go to that process for you to realize, are you even in a position yet to do that? When you come up with the realization, if you are, you not, then you know what you got to do next. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell people, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do. What we're going to do is have a serious conversation about your goals and what you want, why, where you at in life, and then we're going to walk those processes. You're going to come up with the answer without me telling you. That's the best way to learn.
So you're coaching.
Whatever you want to call me. The goal my goal with anybody is for you to feed yourself.
Feed yourself, right? My
goal is for you to help you to fish for yourself. Because if all you doing is regurgitating what I'm telling you, the day you piss me off and I cut you off, I cut off your source of income too. Right? Yeah. So if you could learn to do it on your own, then you wouldn't have control of yourself. Not even I could control you. I could control your destiny. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want that. I was tired of people having control of my destiny, man. So that's what I try to do with people, is to help them to get direction for themselves.
So you have the drive. You have the gum show. You ready. You're energetic. And I started out the same way with wholesaling. So I said, you know what? I'm going to choose wholesaling. And I started wholesaling, Long Island and certain parts of Florida, Connecticut, even Cleveland, and reaching out. Everything was done on a laptop. So there were days that I was discouraged because I was right there, and no, it didn't work out. So I got to move on to the next. But then
you understand that that's the game, right?
That's the game.
You get more no's in this business than you'll ever get a yes.
Absolutely.
That's the game.
And I was told from jump, you're going to knock on 100 doors before you get that one yes.
I go through that every day. I go through that every day.
So you literally have to be ready for that. Like
every day.
Mentally.
Every day.
Yeah. Every day.
Every day. Every day.
And so now 20 years later, how many properties do you operate or have?
It rotates a lot because I flip. Like this year, I'm going to do between 35 or 40 flips this year.
Okay.
And then I own a bunch of rentals as well. The thing is, here's what happens. People like to promote volume, but it's misleading. So the reason why I don't give out specifics like that, one, because I don't need people in my business like that, one. But two, it's misleading. Because you'll have people that will say to you, hey, how many doors do you have? And then you'll hear people say, man, I got 1,500 doors. Sounds wonderful, right?
Right.
Then, hey, how many doors you got? Man, I got 300 doors. Mentally, you automatically assume that the guy with the 1,500 doors must be making way more money than the guy with the 300 doors. It's not true.
It's not true.
I got a really good friend of mine, a mutual friend of ours. The brother's worth tens of millions of dollars. And he has a handful of properties. And he doesn't even have a quarter of the amount of apartments that I have.
Wow.
Right? So that's why it's misleading. Wow. So I don't go with that. I know people that have, in terms of doors, way more doors than me don't make remotely close to how much money I make. Not even close to how much money I make. So that's why I try to have a different type of conversation because it's misleading to the people. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm blessed. I do good.
That's great, man.
And now you're blessing others because you're doing courses.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the courses that you're giving.
Well, right now I have the hottest online course right now, to be honest with you. It's basically the course that I have out now is I want to make people understand the importance of making sure that you know how to acquire and buy right, because you make your money on the buy in real estate. And I don't care if you wholesaling, if you flipping, if you buy and hold. If you're not buying correctly with the intentions that you have, you buying and you're gonna fail. If it doesn't happen on the first one, second one, eventually it's gonna catch you in your ass. So this course really breaks down the entire process of the mindset that you have to have. Literally, I know people keep hearing mindset, but yo, it really is a mindset when it comes to any type of business. Right. So I want to help you to flip the way that you think. Then from flipping the way you think, the next step I help you out with is to understand that you need to know what your budget is in this business. You need to know what your budget is in this business. And I break down to you, how do you find out what your budget is with the people that's supposed to be part of your team, i.e. the hard money lender or whichever funding source that you have. Once they help you to understand what your budget is, it helps to filter out the bullshit and focus on what you only should be focusing on. Because if your budget is only $100,000, why the hell are you wasting your time looking at a $500,000 property when you already know the most that you could fuck with is $100,000? Or if your budget is $1 million, you know at least your lane. So then you go from that process to then where I break down to you understanding the fact that most of the time, most of the properties you're going to go for, you're not going to get. So when you seeing me saying, yo, I'm going to do 35, 40 flips this year, you didn't ask me how many no's I got told just to do those 40. So I break all of those down. So in addition to that, I also have a book that's also attached to that online course. And then I also have a mentorship program that I have where I have a lot of people now signed up, and we do bi-weekly live Zoom call meetups. And then each bi-week, I have a different topic of a course of what I do specifically within my career. And we just dig into it heavy, digging into it real heavy. And then on the other week, we have curriculums that each of the students have to have so that they're ready for the following one. So it's really intense. We hold everybody accountable. It's not a money play. Hey, let me just get as much money as I can off, because it's subscription based. So it's not about me just trying to grab up as much money as I can. If you're not about it, you're not truly into it, I'm gonna kick you out of here, man. We only want like-minded people. And with the community that we have, man, the success stories, man. One of my guys just picked up actually he got 3 properties under contract from the last meetup that we had 2 weeks prior. He coming back with 3 properties. Wow. We have 2 ladies now that are doing their first flip, a bunch of other deals. And then one of the mentees that I have, I just finished getting into a partnership with a multi-million-dollar situation. So you just never know, you know, you just never know when you are networking with people, the opportunities that you're going to have. So that's why I lead with doing the right thing, because you just never know.
You just never know. Yeah. So how much is a subscription?
Well, it depends now. Because we always having different sales right now. So right now the holidays are coming, so that's going to be changed. So I'm not 100% sure right now. Yeah. All
right, cool. So now, So now most of your people they don't have any kind of real estate experience. The people that are on board now in your course?
No, some of them have owned some properties already, and then most of the people have no experience at all. It really doesn't matter, you know, because it's like I said, it's a family thing, and I don't sit here to act like I know everything as well, because I probably could pick up some new game off of you. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I know what I know. I know what I know well, but I'm always open to picking up and learning new things as well. You know, so
right. So now, so as far as the network of people, because a lot of people want to get into real estate, but then they get discouraged from other people that are around them. You know, I know you just got to tune them out, right? So in your case, how long is your course to change that mindset of a person that says
the individual depends on them? But the online course in itself that you would be buying, it's over 4 hours worth of content in it. I forgot how many modules. And whoever acquires it, it's theirs forever. They can fast forward it, rewind it, jump to a different module if they need to. It's real intense, man. Like right now, it's heavy. It's real heavy, real heavy.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Before you get out of here, I saw you mention on your IG about the BRRRR strategy. Talk to us about that. That the BRRRR strategy is not so much the best strategy. There are others.
I said the BRRRR strategy is overrated.
Right.
I'm not saying that it's not the best strategy.
And for those who don't know, can you spell out the BRRRR?
The BRRRR strategy stands for buy, rehab, rent out, refinance, repeat the process over again. So the BRRRR strategy is a cool strategy. It's not that the BRRRR strategy doesn't work, but what people don't tell you is that the BRRRR strategy is going to require you to then get into even more debt for it to work, technically. So if you do the BRRRR strategy, and let's just make an example of a property that's worth $300,000, or the ARV of a property is $300,000. If anybody, you know what ARV stands for, right? Yeah. So if
the after repair value,
the after repair value of a property is 300,000.
Right.
So let's just say hypothetically you bought the property for 100,000, and you spent another 50,000 to fix it. So you're all into the property for 150,000. So since the property is worth $300,000 now because it's completed, utilizing the BRRRR strategy, the bank is only going to give you 70% of the new ARV,
which is
300,000. So 70% of that is 210,000. So technically, if you look at it, it's like, oh my God, I bought the house for 100,000. I spent $50,000. They're giving me 210,000. So I'm up $60,000.
Right.
No, you're not up 60,000. You're in debt an additional 60,000. So you have now a mortgage of $210,000 on a property that was 150,000. So now technically what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to take that $60,000 surplus that you have, plus maybe some of the other monies that you had in it, and utilize that 60,000 to then buy the second property. Then if you follow the same process, each time you're doing it, you're leveraging up more and more and more and more. Sounds great. Wonderful. Ask the people that did that in the subprime mortgage period. Ask the people that bought 10 properties utilizing that same process. So now you over leverage. So regardless of the fact that the property has 30% equity in it, technically, because you only took 70%, but you only can get what you took out of it. So you can't go no more left or right because you already took whatever out of it unless you sell the property. Now imagine that the market shifts now and the property is not worth as much as it was supposed to be. Shifts just a little bit, which is going to happen. It always happens. So now imagine you own 10 properties that you now over leveraged and one of them starts defaulting on you because the tenant's not paying. You're already over leveraged. All it takes is one of your properties to start fucking up. One, maybe two now. You're going to lose all of them. So that's why I would never tell people not to do the BRRRR strategy completely, but don't use that BRRRR strategy as the foundation of you building up a scalable real estate business. Do it because you got to get in it. Do what you have to do to get up. But in the meantime, you have to find other avenues and ways to generate the money so you can keep buying properties without over leveraging yourself.
Wow.
So all of my rentals, so you understand, even the ones I own now, I buy them all as a distressed property or underperforming property. But with my intentions of when I buy my properties, I buy them with 20% down. In the manner of how I buy them, and then the work I put into them, they're worth 20% more than what I originally bought it for. But don't forget, I put 20% down already. So I already had 20%.
So you're ahead of it.
Way ahead.
Yeah. So
most of my properties now that I just bought 2 years ago are valued at doubled what I bought them 2 years ago. And I just leave the equity in there and I just take the cash flow and I just let the cash flow reimburse me the money it cost me. And then I just build up from there. So
yeah, I better take this man's course for more of these gems. That's powerful stuff.
Just a quick question. So what do you tell someone who wants to buy a single family? Do they get into they want to buy a single family, but then they hearing everyone else saying don't buy a single family, buy
sounds good.
Sounds good.
I mean, it sounds good.
So it's like a 4-3-2-1.
Show me somebody that did it. Show me somebody that did it.
Yeah.
I'm not here to say, show me somebody that did it and did it efficiently.
Right.
Show me.
Okay.
I'm not here to knock anybody. I'm in the game, bro.
Yeah.
I'm in the game, bro. Show me somebody that did it efficiently. You know what I'm saying? And what people want to try to do is to bait, not you doing it, but guys tend to try to bait because they didn't want to see us bickering, especially us brothers.
Right.
That in the game bickering. I'm not here to throw no shots at nobody. However it works that the people are presenting, cool. Yo, me, I'm Mr. Receipts, y'all. Anything I talk about, I can back it up. Anything I'm telling y'all, I can show. Show me you do that and efficiently do that. You know what I'm saying?
Because a lot of people are getting all kinds of information, mixed information from all over.
There's a big difference between getting game from an educator and it's somebody that's actually doing it. It's a big difference, man. Right. So you got a lot of teachers that are teaching you how to start a business, but have never owned a business in their life. It's a big difference, yo.
That's deep.
It's a big difference. Yeah. What I'm talking about, this is what I'm doing.
Right.
This is what I'm doing. Not that I heard it from anybody, not that somebody, and I read it out of a book and I said, like, I like to cook, right? But I don't call myself a cook. But if you give me the manual on how to cook, I'm gonna make me a mean meal.
Mhm.
But if you take that manual away from me, I can't do it. I'm being honest with you. But I could throw down when I have to throw down, but I need it in front of me to do it. I'm being real with you. So if I don't have it, I can't do it. I know my limitations, so I gotta admit that. So now there's a difference now when I get my mom and I just throw my mother the stuff, the food, and she just whips it up. Because that's her. She does that. That's what it is for me with the real estate game. I do it. So when someone is given these type of methods, sounds wonderful because on paper, it's supposed to work out like that. It's supposed to work out like that on paper. But when you come out into the real world, why didn't come together the way it looked like on paper? That happens with everything in life. You know what I'm saying? So there's a big difference between a theory and an application. Totally different. You know what I'm saying? So whoever's speaking that, I'm not saying, show it to me. Show it to me. And not only that you did it one time, show it to me. Right. Efficiently. It don't go down like that.
That's what's up. Man. Before we get out of here, we usually have 2 last questions. One, what's the craziest rumor you heard about yourself?
I don't really get
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. I haven't heard no crazy rumor about myself. No, I haven't heard. So far, so good.
Okay, that's good, man. And last question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where I see myself in 5 years?
3 to 5 years.
Listen, man, my goal was just to be able to do what the hell I want to do. So if I'm gonna say, I hope that that's the same thing that I'm doing now. That I could I just want to do what I want to do, man. I'm not trying to be better than anybody else. I want to be able to give the people that I care about whatever it is that they want. Be there. I just want to do what I want to do. So if I can do that in 3 to 5 years, man, whichever level that I'm on, I'm thankful, man. I'm happy, man.
Wow.
I'm happy.
Dope. Let people know where they could check you out and check out your courses.
They could go to my website, www.atmybest197, ATMYBEST197. And you could catch me on Instagram as well, ATMYBEST197. And Twitter, the same thing, all the social media platforms. That's how you guys can catch me. And then if you go to my website, you can catch the links, and it has all the links to the different options and stuff like that.
Are you still doing the ride-alongs?
I'm not doing them until next year. When it starts warming up again, I'll start doing that again.
Yeah, those are dope, man. I love those. You got to definitely bring those back.
Yeah, I do them I do them all the time. I do several a year, but I like to do them when it's warm.
Right.
It's just a better experience in warmer weather.
Right.
We don't even call him Welby. We just call him ATM.
Yeah, bro. At my best. That's
no doubt. No doubt.
Nah, that was dope, man.
Gems. Today was gems.
Yeah. That was awesome. I love your energy, bro.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Definitely got to come back.
Thanks for coming out. For sure.
Definitely got to come back. Ladies and gentlemen, here, ATM.
Mr. At My Best, for sure.
Yeah.
At My Best 197. Check him out. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe on YouTube and all your social media platforms, the Team Sock Pase podcast. Subscribe, share, and comment below. Please, please, please subscribe. Help us. We're going to bring more gems to you guys. And that's it.
Right.
Team Sock Pase, we out. Beat.